Hi everyone. So for years in my garden I've had honesty. The botanical name is lunaria, and I've always had the purple form sprouting up in different parts of the borders. Loved it. And then 2 years ago I found a packet of white lunaria or honesty seeds online, so I bought them, sowed them, they germinated, I planted them out, and just fell in love with the white honesty. It was beautiful. Earlier this year I'll put some footage up. This is the white honesty that was growing in my white garden. So this is it here. It's called lunaria, commonly known as honesty, and isn't that beautiful? So I've just put the camera angle in this direction so you can just see by this sunlight just how much deep shade these plants are growing in. So this is a north-facing border. It never gets sunlight. And I only had one packet of seeds. It was so easy to germinate. It all germinated. It's flourishing everywhere in my garden. There's not one plant that hasn't performed like this, even on my front border. And it is so tough. It's so hardy. So my garden is up here in the northeast of England. It's very coastal. We are about 5 minutes away from the North Sea. This is a picture of it at the foot of my drive. It's teamed here with some of the just self-seeded purple honesty. And I just think the one complements the other. Now, honesty is a biennial, and for anybody who doesn't know what that is, it's where you sow the seeds 1 year and they germinate and you get young plants and they grow a nice root ball and some foliage, but they don't flower. They will flower the next year. So if you research honesty seeds, some people will say the sweet spot for sowing your honesty seeds would be June, mid-June. Well, here we are. I'm filming this at the end of July. And the reason I've had to wait this long is because it has been so hot in the UK this year. I've had nothing living in this greenhouse apart from a few alpines for months now. It's just been far too hot. Any young plants that I had in, like I had some foxgloves on the shelves below, they just were stunted by the heat, and I had to take them out and get them into a shady place, and then they've recovered. So anyway, that is why I've waited until now, the end of July. It's rained for the first time in weeks, and it is slightly cooler. I think it's 22 degrees centigrade today, so it still is quite hot, but we are where we are. So I'm going to sow some honesty seeds now and we'll see how they come on. So honesty will flower in your garden, and it'll flower in spring, early summer. And when the flowers go over, what you're left with are the seed pods, and you'll probably recognize these. That's them there, and they make like a little rattly sound. And if you look up closely, you can see the individual seeds in these sort of papery moon shaped seed heads. So what you can do is you can just leave those seed heads on the plant, and I have done that, and they will probably last you well into the winter until eventually the winds just blow them away, and that's how they sort of self-seed. So we'll go out onto the front border here and I'll show you where I've left some of my honesty. Here we go. So Those white legs there belong to the honesty that flowered in this position. That's still all attached. So I've left that plant intact just for a bit of interest. But then other plants along this border, I've actually cut down the stems of the honesty, and then I've just dropped the seed heads into the borders. And by dropping the seed pods into your borders, you get a very sort of naturalistic effect, because you have no guarantee as to where they're going to eventually end up settling and germinating. There we go, I can see some more down there in amongst the Crocosmia lucifer. So I'll very likely get some self-seeded honesty in this area here next year. And then I know for a fact that in this border here, I can remember cutting honesty back and just throwing the seed heads into the border there. And the same will happen in this border here. I'll just get honesty sprouting up. So I did go online. I was looking for packets of white honesty seeds, and then I thought, hang on a minute, I've got loads of heads here. I'll just pick them off my own plants. So these are the seeds that I collected from the flowers that flowered early this spring and summer. So they're quite sizable, aren't they, the seeds? So I'm not going to use any special seeds compost or anything. Just check my mic's on there. I'm just going to use a peat-free compost from the shops, because actually the honesty seeds, you know, if they were self-sown, they'd just land on your garden soil, wouldn't they? They don't need sort of cosseting. And then because the seeds are quite large, I'm going to actually just fill up these seed trays and plant one seed in each one, and that means that there's less disturbance for the young seedlings once they've germinated. Because if I sort of germinated the whole lot into, say, something like that, and they all germinated, then I would have to get a dibber and just sort of, you know, prick them all out individually and plant them up individually into something like that. So I may as well just cut out that middleman, go straight to the modules. If it was foxgloves or something where the seeds are microscopic, then I think just putting them in a seed tray is best. Right, so I'm just going to fill the seed trays up, and I'll plant plenty of them. Actually, I'm going to use my new trough here that I've got. I've been using an old broken one for so many years. I forgot I'd got a new one earlier this year. And I've got nothing to lose by trying this, have I? Right, and what I think is a good idea with seedlings is to water the compost before you put the seeds in. It's lovely to have a water butt with water in again. This has been dry for at least 2 months. I got such a shock when I turned the tap on and you could feel the water pressure gushing out. So these were some seedling modules that I got earlier this year. I treated myself because mine were all falling to bits. And they come with their own little reservoir there. So you just fill that up, well, half full, and then you pop your seed tray in. And what will happen is it will just soak up all the water. Right, I've got a little container there. So I'm just going to use that, and I'm going to drop the seeds into that. So these are the easiest things to open up. This is very satisfying. They sort of come in 2 sides with a papery middle, and each one's got about 2 or 3 seeds in. So I'll just carry on doing this for the next half hour And I'll see you back here shortly. So you know, now that I've seen how easy it is to collect the seed, I'm going to do all of this, and then I'll just keep what I don't use this year in a Tupperware, and I'll use it in years to come. So in the wild, what must happen is the plant must eventually drop these seed pods onto the ground, and they'll blow around into different areas and that, and then the husky bit must decompose and the seeds are left in the soil to germinate. Right, I'll have to pause filming for a moment because can you see under there I've got a bee stuck in the greenhouse. I'll have to get him out before he gets caught in a spider's web. I think I'll use a plant pot like that, catch him on that. Right, I've got him. Now what do I do with him? Oh, crumbs. Should have had a piece of paper handy, shouldn't I? Didn't think this through. There we go. Oh, right, I'll have to go and get a piece of paper. Right, okay, here we go. Take two. Off you go. There we go. Right, so I can feel those getting damp. And it's very easy for me now. Just put them in my hand and drop one. Can you see where I'm dropping one on the top of each module? The benefits of planting your seeds out for next year in June is that obviously they've got far more summer weeks to bulk up before you plant them out into your garden in September and October of this year. You would have a much bigger plant. But you know what I can do? Once these all germinate, hopefully, and I've got my little plants, I'll give them lots of liquid seaweed and then bulk them up that way before I actually put them out in the garden. Now what I'm going to cover them with is just some vermiculite, and this will just stop the seed from getting scorched, and it stops that green sort of mold forming on the top of your soil in a greenhouse. It doesn't happen so much if you put your seedlings out into a cold frame, which I could do. I could just put these straight into the cold frame because I have got a mesh over the top of the cold frame to stop the squirrels getting in, and that's it. Right, the other thing that I'm going to do this year, I'm going to promise myself I'm going to do this, is to label everything. Every year I think, right, I'm going to label everything, and I don't. There we go. And then just to sort of build up a humidity in there and get them to germinate as quickly as possible, it even comes with its own little cloche, so it's like a little mini greenhouse. So my vision for next year is to have all of these borders from spring through to early summer full of white honesty, and I may even buy a packet of the purple honesty and sow some of that as well, because I do think the white and the purple together looks lovely too. Now there's a nice example of white and purple together. So I've got that combination now in July. I just want it in April, May, June too. And just keep an eye on the temperatures in the greenhouse, because obviously it's very warm outside, so they can really escalate through the day in a greenhouse. And also make sure if you have got a cloche over the top of them just to keep them moist and humid, that as soon as they start germinating, as soon as you see them poking up, get that cloche off. You could pop it back over on a night time if you wanted, but just until they get to, I don't know, about 2 centimeters tall. I may put these in the cold frame. Oh yeah, that's getting nice and heavy there, soaking up all the water. So I hope you've enjoyed this little video. I hope it's given you food for thought. If you've had a plant that you really loved in your borders this year and it's finished, think about collecting the seeds, and you've got nothing to lose. Just sow it now and see if you can overwinter it. If you don't need a greenhouse, you know, you can do it in a conservatory. That's what conservatories are for, aren't they? A conservatory, or your kitchen windowsill, or your front porch, wherever. And I love planting seeds late summer, autumn, because it really does give me an interest over the winter, just nurturing these little plants. And then you hit the ground running next spring, because instead of sowing your seeds then, with a lot of plants, you can't do it with all, but a lot of plants you can. And next spring, instead of sowing your seeds, you've actually got little plants that are this big with, more importantly, a good root ball on the bottom, and you put those in your garden next spring as sweet peas, things like that, and they just take off. So it's very exciting. Right, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.